Hello and welcome to the Elements of Innovation course introduction and overview on how to design a self-driving car using the patent landscape. My name is Chris Frank. I'm the patent guy. I help companies identify opportunities for innovation using the patent landscape. So what's the big idea behind this course? In plain English, I help people use the patent system the way it was designed to be used over 200 years ago. You look at the patents of others, and then you come up with better ideas of your own. Amazingly, I'm one of very few people out there that actually uses the patent system this way, and that's the big idea for this course. We'll be using the patent landscape to help you come up with better ideas, better inventions, and innovations for the self-driving car. Why am I offering this course? The approach that we're going to use is what I've been doing for the last 15 years with my clients in industry. Large corporations across a wide range of technologies. The problem in the past is I've always been under a confidentiality or non-disclosure agreement, a gag order. But in this case, I have no affiliation with any of the players in this field, and I think it will be a fascinating thing to see what would happen if this kind of information was available to the entire industry. The way this course is organized is the same way that I do things when working with a single client. I begin my client engagements with what I call the motivational charts. The chart you see on the right are the search results of patents that fall under the classification of how to control the position of a vehicle by autonomous decision making. There's only a single document per patent family, and it's U.S. filings only. There are 686 patent documents in this category. As you can see, there is an accelerated increase in filing in the last few years. That low number for 2020 is because I'm recording this in early 2020. I expect it to go up. I call this a motivational chart because it is information that is not actionable. There's nothing that you can really do with this information other than wonder what it means and how you can act upon it. It usually creates in the mind of the client the need to understand what is in these 686 documents and what does it mean to you. Because I'm talking usually to business people at this point in the conversation, I often worry that they'll fall asleep as soon as they hear the word patent. So I have to put dollar signs attached to everything that I do. And here's what I use for my calculation. If a typical patent costs $10,000 for an attorney to file it, just in legal fees, not counting the actual engineering behind it, then we have a total value of these 686 documents of $6.86 million worth of information. So if you're a business person, don't fall asleep. But that's not all. I have a second motivational chart under the patent classification of how to recognize lanes, traffic signals, and obstacles. Under this class, we have another 577 documents to look at. And once again, you can see a very fast acceleration of filings in recent years. Using our same calculation as before, 577 times $10,000, we have $5 million, over $5 million worth of information. Wouldn't it be interesting to find out what's in those 577 documents? And if that didn't motivate you enough, here's my last motivational chart for this presentation. Chart number 3 is under the patent classification of how to define a desired trajectory. Once again, the last 3 years, a lot of filing going on. 246 documents with a value of $2.46 million. If we add all of that up, just from these 3 motivational charts, we have a value of information of over $15 million. Once again, only talking about the legal fees involved and not the actual engineering behind them. Can you afford not to understand what's going on in the patent landscape of self-driving cars? So who is this course for? Usually the motivational charts are presented to the business people. But once they see those charts, they are then motivated to do something about it, and that means passing it on to the inventors. More specifically, the elite inventors that are working in the trenches to get their product to market first and best, because that's the people that need to see and understand this type of information. What's in this course? It's divided up into 3 separate sections. Section 1 is the big idea, how to use the patent landscape to out-invent the competition. Having worked with many elite inventors across a number of different industries and technologies, and having had to study the patent portfolios of elite inventors of the competitors. I've had to figure out how these people think. And I've put together for the first time a course on what I call the Elite Inventor Crash Course, so you can learn how to think like an elite inventor. Section 2 is the big example. When we're talking about patent landscapes with thousands of documents, it's always useful to start out with a case study of a single key competitor in order to be able to compare and contrast to other competitors and companies in that area. In this case, we will start with a section focusing on a deep dive into the Waymo patent portfolio, and that's available for immediate download if you've purchased this course. Section 3 is the big data section. Yes, I know many of you work with big data, and we're talking about millions of data points. I'm only talking about thousands here, but I consider this to be big data. We are trying to gain the trends, the insights, and the opportunities for innovation by scouring these thousands of documents for that information. What's in this first section that I call the Elite Inventor Crash Course? It will teach you how to think like an elite inventor. We begin with invention basics, the 4 types of inventions, how to think like an elite inventor, and why thinking small is the secret to thinking big. And then we move into patent basics, the 7 things you need to know about a patent so you won't waste your time deciphering the techno-legalese that you can find in these documents, and you can find the key insights that will lead to future innovation. Then we move on to the innovation equation. How can you tell if your ideas are any good, and why the know-it-when-I-see-it approach doesn't work? I'll give you a simple formula that shows you how to separate the good from the bad and the ugly. And finally, we end with the patent landscape basics, the 5 types of white space opportunities that you'll find in every patent landscape, and how to use the patent landscape to think like a visionary and identify those white space opportunities yourself. Once you complete this first section of the course, you're going to see the world in a whole new light. You're going to see it from the point of view of the elite inventor. You're suddenly going to see opportunities and insights that have always been there but have been hidden in plain sight until now. That's it for the introduction to this course. I look forward to seeing you in the next sections. Thank you.